Hello History 206 students, and welcome to week 3 of your course. The purpose of this video is to provide context for your week 3 written assignment. In this assignment, you'll work on the research for your final assignment, which will examine the history of the United States as it pertains to the group you selected in week 1 over the past 150 years. The assignment due this week, the final paper preparation worksheet, is a template that you will fill out and then turn in. This document can be found on the week 3 assignment page. The final paper preparation assignment has 3 main parts, and I'd like to take a moment to walk you through each of these. For the first part of the assignment, you need to identify your group and the 4 events that have influenced history of this group. 2 of these events must be from the period between 1877 and 1945, and 2 after 1945. One of each of these should specifically relate to either political or civil rights for your group. If you are having issues identifying events for your final paper, I would recommend that you review the History 206 timeline. For the final paper preparation worksheet, you need to select these events and describe how they are important to the history of this group. The second component of this assignment asks you to identify the sources you will be using for your final. You will need to identify 2 primary sources and 2 secondary scholarly sources. As a reminder, primary sources are sources that come from the period of study, where secondary sources are scholarly sources that are written about the past by a historian. Please note that the textbook and most web sources are not considered scholarly sources, and I would recommend that you complete your secondary research in the UAGC library. Once you have identified your sources, you will need to develop an APA reference citation for each source and an annotation for your source. An annotation should be at least a full paragraph in length and should summarize the main points of the source, as well as discuss how the research in the source will help you on your final paper. Finally, the last part of this assignment asks for you to develop a working draft of your introduction and thesis statement. This will allow your instructor to provide feedback on each of these prior to you writing the remainder of your paper. If you have questions on how to develop introductions or on thesis statements, there are links in the assignment itself, and you can always ask your instructor or visit the Writing Center. Again, the main goal of this assignment is to walk you through the research process for your final paper. At the end of this week, you will have completed your research, allowing you to start writing your final in week 4. Finally, remember to come back and review the feedback your instructor left for you in Waypoint later this week and as you are working on your final.